Nike's so dialed into research and development of performance. It's a new technology, newer than what our normal uniform is. And it's got some venting here on the chest. It allows for a lot more movement with it. It's called chainmail, this fabric down the middle, and it's also got it in the back. We don't need as strong a fabric. You're not taking a big blow. We're not seeing a whole lot of tears in the belly or in the back region. So here's a chance for us to use some perforations. Nike's used that technology really in every uniform now that they're coming out with has got that. Now we're gonna do a complete revamp next year. We call it a chassis update on our uniform. And what that means is you're gonna see a very similar look to the University of Missouri football program, but we're gonna have the newest technology available in all of our looks. We can take grams and ounces off by just taking these pieces of fabric off. So if you look at this uniform, here's a panel, here's a panel, here's a panel, here's a panel. I think there's 17 panels in the actual football jersey. That's gonna go to 5 in the new uniform. So those 5 panels are they're gonna take weight off because it's needless stitching, needless stowing, so it's gonna be one piece, and that one piece has been ergonomically cut and designed to allow for a better movement. You're gonna see some similar color adaptions and us using colors in a similar manner. There'll be a black uniform, there'll be a gold uniform, there'll be a white uniform, probably a gray uniform. We actually designed these uniforms back in December. We're still working on that stuff. You're in the middle of the laboratory here, so it's always a work in progress. This is a custom shoe. Our guys absolutely love this. Custom Mizzou colors. It's very subtle and very hard to see. It's got tiger stripe pattern over the entire shoe. The bottom of this plate, this shoe, is really made out of fiberglass. So they'll go so deep as to test the amount of glass that's put into that shoe. The right amount, and the shoe's gonna give you the perfect spring, almost like coming off a trampoline when you're running. Well back when Denary Alexander was here, we've been testing shoes for him. So they love the feedback they get from us. And just performance, how does that feel? Do you blister? Do you have better traction? Does your foot feel good in it? They want to know everything they can possibly know about that shoe. There's a sock liner inside. Now it's kind of hard to see, so we ripped one out for you. This is made by a former Missouri Tiger student manager who works for Nike now and designs these SMU shoes, special makeups. Gloves are another thing. Like shoes, I would say gloves are probably number 2 on the list for our guys, that they want the bling, and the glove is a big part of that. Not only does it protect their hands and they're not gonna get dinged up or stepped on or cut or torn, but they've got a ton of traction. The palm is so tacky that it's almost impossible to drop a football with these things on. We'll give our 70-man travel squad brand new gloves every single week, just to make sure that that edge is there. You can catch that ball. You make the catch that gets us in the SEC championship game, that's a huge payoff for our company. So it's a good return on our investment to make sure you've got the best equipment out there, and gloves are something we'll give you every week. So this is a simple tight dry fit t-shirt. What Nike's gone and done is they've put a venting system right up the back of the shirt. When you have a full set of pads on, it's very hard to get much heat out and dissipate much heat. Well, right up the spine and even into the back neck area, that yoke, we can get air out, almost like a chimney effect. This is called the Speed Flex from Riddell. It's safer and a better fit and more comfortable than any helmet we've ever had before. It's got this attenuation flap. It allows for some movement, again, to absorb and attenuate that energy. Now this cut on the top of the helmet will also attenuate that energy. So the energy is getting dispersed before it hits your spinal cord, before it shakes your head, gives you a concussion. This shoulder pad right here, these guys don't want big and bulky. They want to be able to move, and this can't hamper them. But if it's not strong and it's not safe, then they're going to be in the training room. So that really doesn't help me. It's got to be safer. So not only does it attenuate, very similar to the other pads, it attenuates the energy. It's got some perforated foam throughout the body. Again, we're trying to get some heat dissipated if we can. And then really it spills over into our shirts. So again, sometimes you'll get hit hard enough that shoulder pad, it might need a little bit of help. You're just hitting, and we're going so fast nowadays we'll put a little extra padding in that shirt, and it's actually built into the shirt. We can customize this from shoulders to extra rib protection to linemen. We can have the padding in the chest. And we really now have come to the point where we've got blank shirts with Velcro, and we have blank sheets of foam. I can put foam anywhere I need to cover an injury or fix a modality. Whether it be a short or a shirt, we can absolutely control that level of protection. So there's a couple different theories behind compression in tight-fitting gear. Back in the 70s and 80s, I think hamstrings were a huge issue. Guys always pulled hamstrings, and there were always problems. Very tight on the thighs, so that brings a ton of blood flow to the thigh and groin area. That keeps it loose. That keeps you from doing a lot of tearing and a lot of pulling and those type of things. This goes back to the genesis of Nike and Bill Bowerman trying to take, if I can take an ounce off of a runner's shoe over a 5,000 meter race, that could cut a second. Well, that's life or death in the track world. Well, they do that same technology here. Nike incorporates that into their football uniforms. Late in the fourth quarter, what edge can I give you? Well, little things like this, taking weight off, keeping you cooler, just with the tools that we put them on the field with, let's give them that edge, and we think we do that.